Now let's shift gears and talk about what you can do about this emptiness. The good news is that it's not a life sentence. Feeling empty doesn't mean you're broken or that your life is doomed. It's a sign that something needs to change, and change is possible. The first step is to reconnect with yourself. That sounds simple, but it's not always easy. It means carving out time to listen to your own thoughts, to figure out what you really want, not what you've been told to want. One way to do this is through journaling. Sit down with a notebook and ask yourself questions like, what makes me feel alive? What do I value most? What would I do if I wasn't afraid? Write without censoring yourself. Let the answers flow. You might be surprised by what comes up. Another way to reconnect is to spend time alone. Not distracted, not scrolling, just you and your thoughts. Go for a walk without your phone. Sit in a quiet room and let your mind wander. This can feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to constant stimulation. But solitude is where you start to hear your own voice again. It's where you rediscover what matters to you. And if you're someone who believes in something spiritual, whether it's God, the universe, or your own inner wisdom, this is a good time to lean into that. Prayer, meditation, or even just quiet reflection can help you tap into a deeper sense of purpose. Once you start reconnecting with yourself, the next step is to take a hard look at your life and see where you're out of alignment. This is where things get real. Ask yourself, is my job fulfilling me, or am I just doing it for the paycheck? Are my relationships lifting me up, or are they draining me? Am I spending my time on things that matter to me, or am I just filling my days with distractions? Be honest. This isn't about judging yourself. It's about getting clear on what's working and what's not. If you realize there are areas of your life that don't align with who you are, that's okay. Awareness is the first step to change. Now, change doesn't mean you have to quit your job, leave your partner, or move to a new city tomorrow. Sometimes it's about small shifts. Maybe you start saying no to things that don't serve you, like social obligations that leave you feeling drained. Maybe you carve out an hour a week to pursue a passion project like painting or writing or volunteering. These small actions send a message to yourself that your happiness matters. Over time, those small steps can lead to bigger changes, ones that bring you closer to a life that feels full and meaningful. Let's talk about purpose again, because it's a big piece of this puzzle. Finding your purpose doesn't mean you have to save the world or achieve something monumental. Purpose can be simple. It's about knowing what lights you up and doing more of it. For some people, purpose comes from creating, writing a book, making music, building something with their hands. For others, it's about connection, being a good friend, raising kind kids, helping their community. And for some, it's about growth, learning new things, challenging themselves, becoming the best version of who they are. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand, it just has to feel true to you. One way to uncover your purpose is to think about what you loved as a kid. Kids are great at being unapologetically themselves. Before the world told you who you should be, what did you love to do? Maybe you spent hours drawing or telling stories or exploring nature. Those childhood passions often hold clues to what fulfills you as an adult. Another way to find purpose is to notice what makes you lose track of time. When you're so absorbed in something that hours feel like minutes, that's a sign you're in flow. That's where your purpose lives. But purpose isn't just about what you do. It's also about why you do it. Let's say you're a teacher. On the surface, your job is to teach math or history or whatever. But dig deeper. Maybe the real reason you teach is because you love helping kids believe in themselves. Or maybe you're a nurse, and your purpose isn't just about giving shots or checking vitals. It's about making people feel cared for in their most vulnerable moments. When you connect your daily actions to a deeper why, even the mundane parts of life start to feel more meaningful. Now let's address something that might be holding you back. The belief that you don't deserve to feel fulfilled. This is a sneaky one. A lot of us carry around this idea that we have to earn happiness, that we're not allowed to prioritize ourselves until we've checked all the boxes or made everyone else happy. But that's a lie. You deserve to feel alive. You deserve to live a life that lights you up. And here's the kicker. When you prioritize your own fulfillment, you show up better for everyone else. You're a better partner, parent, friend, or coworker when you're connected to yourself and living with purpose. Another thing that might be holding you back is perfectionism. You might think, I can't pursue my passion until I'm good at it, or I can't make a big change until I have it all figured out. But that's not how life works. Fulfillment comes from the messy, imperfect process of trying. You don't have to be a master painter to enjoy painting. You don't have to have a 5-year plan to start a new career. Take one step, even if it's small, even if it's scary. The act of moving toward what matters to you is what starts to fill that empty space. Let's talk about relationships for a moment because they play a huge role in how we feel. Humans are social creatures. We thrive on connection. But not all connections are created equal. If you're surrounded by people who don't support you, who criticize you, or who make you feel small, that's going to amplify your sense of emptiness. On the other hand, relationships that are built on mutual respect, understanding, and encouragement can be a source of deep fulfillment. Take a look at the people in your life. Do they lift you up? Do they inspire you to be your best self? If not, it might be time to set some boundaries or seek out new connections. This doesn't mean you have to cut everyone out of your life. Sometimes it's about shifting how you engage. Maybe you spend less time with that friend who's always negative and more time with the one who makes you laugh. Maybe you join a group or community where people share your interests, whether it's a book club, a hiking group, or an online forum. Surrounding yourself with people who align with your values and passions is like adding fuel to your inner fire. It reminds you that you're not alone, that your dreams and struggles matter. Now let's touch on something practical. Taking care of your body. It's hard to feel connected to yourself when you're running on empty physically. If you're not sleeping enough, eating junk, or sitting all day, your body and mind are going to feel sluggish. You don't have to become a fitness guru or a health nut, but small changes can make a big difference. Drink more water. Go for a 10-minute walk. Eat a vegetable. Get to bed a little earlier. These things sound basic, but they're foundational. Your body is the vessel for your soul, and when you treat it with care, you create space for clarity and energy to show up. Another practical step is to declutter your life. Emptiness doesn't always mean a lack of something. Sometimes it's caused by too much. Too much noise, too many commitments, too much stuff. Look at your schedule. Are you saying yes to things out of obligation? Are you filling your days with tasks that don't actually matter to you? If so, it's time to simplify. Say no to what doesn't serve you. Clear out physical clutter too, your closet, your desk, your car. Creating space in your environment can help create space in your mind, making it easier to hear your own voice. Let's talk about gratitude for a moment. I know, gratitude can sound like a cliche, but there's a reason it's talked about so much. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you shift your perspective. You start to notice the small moments of joy that might otherwise pass you by. The way the sunlight hits your coffee mug in the morning, the sound of your favorite song, a kind word from a stranger. These things don't erase the emptiness, but they remind you that life isn't all void. They're like little anchors, grounding you in the present and giving you something to build on. One way to practice gratitude is to keep a journal. Every night, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. Maybe you're grateful for a warm shower, a good conversation, or the fact that you made it through a tough day. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to notice the good. It doesn't mean you ignore the hard stuff. It just means you're not letting the hard stuff define your entire experience. Gratitude is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Now let's address the role of creativity. Everyone is creative, whether you believe it or not. You don't have to be an artist or a musician. Creativity is about expressing yourself, about bringing something new into the world. It's about play, curiosity, and exploration. When you engage in creative acts, whether it's cooking a new recipe, writing a poem, or rearranging your furniture, you tap into a part of yourself that's alive and vibrant. Creativity is a direct line to your soul. It's a way to process your emotions, make sense of your experiences, and remind yourself that you have something unique to offer. If you're feeling stuck, try something creative, even if it feels silly. Doodle in a notebook. Write a letter you'll never send. Dance in your living room. The goal isn't to create a masterpiece, it's to reconnect with the part of you that's playful and free. That part of you is still there, even if it's been buried under years of routine and responsibility. Creativity is a bridge back to yourself, and every time you cross it, you chip away at that empty feeling. Let's talk about failure for a second, because it's something that trips a lot of us up. When you're feeling empty, the idea of trying something new can be terrifying. What if you fail? What if you embarrass yourself? But here's the thing. Failure is not the opposite of fulfillment. In fact, failure is often a stepping stone to it. Every time you try something and it doesn't work out, you learn. You grow. You get closer to understanding what does work for you. The real failure is staying stuck, refusing to try because you're scared. So give yourself permission to mess up. It's not about getting it right, it's about showing up for yourself. Another piece of this puzzle is forgiveness. Sometimes the emptiness you feel is tied to guilt or regret. Maybe you're carrying around mistakes you made, opportunities you missed, or ways you let yourself or others down. That weight can keep you disconnected from yourself. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean pretending those things didn't happen. It means acknowledging them, learning from them, and letting go of the shame. You're human. You're allowed to make mistakes. What matters is that you're here now, trying to build a life that feels true to you. And while we're on the topic of forgiveness, consider forgiving others too. Holding onto anger or resentment is like carrying a backpack full of rocks. It weighs you down and it takes up space that could be filled with joy or purpose. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing someone's behavior or letting them back into your life. It means freeing yourself from the grip of the past so you can move forward. It's a gift you give yourself, not them. Let's circle back to the idea of meaning. Earlier, we talked about how humans are wired to seek purpose. But purpose isn't something you find once and then you're done. It's a lifelong journey. Your purpose might shift as you grow, as your circumstances change, as you learn more about yourself. And that's okay. The key is to stay curious. Keep asking questions. Keep exploring. What matters to you right now? What do you want to contribute to the world, even in a small way? Those questions will guide you toward a life that feels fuller. One way to stay connected to meaning is to serve others. This doesn't mean you have to volunteer at a soup kitchen or start a nonprofit, though those are great if they call to you. Service can be as simple as listening to a friend who's struggling, helping a coworker with a project, or smiling at a stranger. When you contribute to someone else's life, you remind yourself that you matter. You create ripples of connection that come back to you. Service is a two-way street. It fills others up and it fills you up too. Now let's talk about the role of faith or spirituality. For some of you, this might resonate deeply. For others, it might not. Either way, hear me out. Having a sense of something bigger than yourself, whether it's God, the universe, nature, or simply the mystery of existence, can be a powerful antidote to emptiness. It gives you a context for your life, a sense that you're part of a larger story. If you're spiritual, lean into practices that connect you to that bigger picture, whether it's prayer, meditation, or spending time in nature. If you're not, that's okay too. You can still find meaning in the connections you create, the values you hold, and the legacy you want to leave behind. Let's address one more thing: the pressure to fix your emptiness overnight. This is a trap. Emptiness doesn't disappear with a single epiphany or a weekend retreat. It's a process. Some days you'll feel connected and alive. Other days, the void will creep back in. That's normal. What matters is that you keep showing up for yourself. Keep taking small steps. Keep asking questions. Over time, those steps add up and the emptiness starts to feel less like a void and more like a canvas, a space for you to create something new. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. You are not broken. The fact that you're here watching this means you're already on the path to understanding yourself better. That emptiness you feel, it's not a curse, it's an invitation. It's your soul asking you to come home to yourself. So take it one day at a time, listen to your heart, try new things, be kind to yourself. You don't have to have it all figured out, you just have to start. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it. And let me know in the comments, what's one small step you're going to take to reconnect with yourself? I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep searching for what lights you up. You've got this. One small step you're going to take to reconnect with yourself. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep searching for what lights you up. You've got this.